Hi, welcome back to Carla Astrology. I'm Carla. Um, I would like to continue with our discussion about palmistry. So, a little recap if you haven't watched my first two videos on this series. We learned a little bit about Carl Jung, and the main thing about him and palmistry is he believed that the hands are a map to the mind. And we are there's two different forms of the study of the hands, which one is called chiromancy, which is the study of the lines in your hand and the mounts. And then there's chirognomy, which is more like the rest of your hands, like your fingers, even your fingernails, shape, skin texture, all that. That's all chirognomy. So um, we are going to talk more about chiromancy. Um, the right hand standard, that is my dominant hand. So your right hand is the potential, or is what you do with the potential you were born with, which is your left hand. So if you are left-handed, it's possibly just the opposite of that. So we talked about Venus, which is about your love, how you view your relationships, that your vitality, your energy towards life, sexuality. We also talked about the moon, and the moon is about your love of beauty, your intuition, your subconscious. So we learned that grills pretty much anywhere in your hand are bad. Pink, if your palm is more pink, that is a healthy kind of balanced temperament. And so you have to take into consideration, the mound itself and what it stands for. And then if it's pink, that's a perfect balance of whether it's a shadow or good quality. Red is a little bit higher energy person, somebody that, a lot of passion. White or blue would be like a lack of. And then yellow means envious. You have a little bit of a jealous nature. So palmistry is a form of divination, and divination is used, it's used to obtain information from your past and your present to get knowledge of the future. And today we're going to talk more about Mercury, which is right underneath your little finger. And Mercury is all about communication, intelligence, teaching, and your children. Hence, we have children lines. That's where you'll find those, and your marriage lines, which marriage lines aren't specifically pertaining to a marriage. It could be a relationship too, just a committed relationship. So ask yourself, take a look at your hand, and is your Mercury mount pink, red, white, yellow? Those are important things to look at. Is it firm? Is it decent sized? I guess, yeah, we were doing it the other day, and I guess if you can do this, maybe it's kind of hard. You can kind of tell which mounts are more prominent. So, people that have a well-developed Mercury mount are usually your lawyers, your politicians, your accountants, and even performers like musicians. And I can't really say, well, let me clarify that. A performer and a musician may not be the same thing, but it's somebody that performs, doesn't just play an instrument or sing. It's somebody that actually performs, somebody that entertains you. Because Mercury is witty, you know. So we have on the Mercury mount, we have something called the medical stigmata. And they're little like healing lines. And they're just straight up and down lines underneath your pinky. I don't know if you probably, you can kind of see them. They're called the healer lines. And, you know, somebody that has a lot of those lines might be found in the profession of the medical field. You know, they take care of people. Or, you know, you might have somebody that does Reiki, excuse me. Or, you know, actually another one is like very good with plants. They have a green thumb. So I guess the key word is empathy for all living things. Keywords for that. So it's also a sign of a person that is an excellent communicator. Now, a grill on the Mercury is somebody you might want to actually read between the lines with. That's somebody that might deceive you. If only you could look at every person you do business with and look to see if they have a grill underneath their pinky. It would be a really good sign. To not trust everything that they tell you. I know that's bad, but that's just between you and I, okay? All right, so the Mercury line, which is also in some systems called the health line, that is a line that goes from here towards your Venus. Or it might actually, like on this, it's actually showing here. This means this is your health, your intuition line. But it's right underneath Mercury. So if it's a straight deep line, then that's very good. If you don't have a line for your health, that's also very good. It is, again, the line of health. So if it's broken or has islands on it, crosses, those might be some signs of some health issues. Let's see, relationship lines. I just talked about those in the beginning. Those are lines that come off the back of your side of your hand, and they're right here. So also, as a relationship line, your children lines are the ones that cross it. And those are the children that you've had with that partner. Now, on a man, the children lines aren't always lines of biological children, whereas with a female, they usually are. A few things about the relationship lines, the marriage lines. If there is an island on that line, mine's a pretty deep one. I actually have like 1.5. An island means that is a broken relationship. If you have an X on it, you know, like an actual X, that just doesn't mean the line going up and down, because that's the children. That would be a troublesome line. If it's broken, that's kind of like a setback in that relationship. Like there was a period where you might have taken time apart from each other, forked at the beginning. So that would be back here. That means that it broke. It was a breakup from that relationship. I'm tongue-tied trying to think about how I want to say that. If the line goes upwards at the end, that means happy ending. Downward is a bad ending. A short line means a relationship with no passion. maybe a marriage of convenience. A straight and long, deep line is good. Very good. So we talked about the children lines. So a square on a line means protection. So that pretty much a square on any line in your hand means protection for whatever that line means. So also too many lines kind of goes along with the grill. It means miscommunication. And I apologize for the background noise. My grandbabies are downstairs. Mommy's home. And yeah, they tend to act out a little bit more for mommy than they do grandma. So, you know, that's just, I think all kids do that. But anyway, back to the palmistry. So, too many lines on Mercury and a grill is also an indication of this. Is your mind is overworked. So we talked about it before in the other videos that it means stress. It means stress. And so on Mercury, that means your mind is stressed. So no lines, especially on a child, is not a bad thing at all. It just means there's a whole lot of open space. Like that hard drive is ready to be filled. And so that's an excellent deal. You know, I was looking at my grandson's hand the other day, and it's weird because he has so many lines already. And I'm thinking he's either an old soul or, you know, I mean, he's got a pretty good life, so I don't think he's stressed out, but children can get stressed too. Again, a grill could also mean digestive issues. So another interesting thing, and I don't believe I talked about this in the last videos, are moles. A mole is like, it's like clear crystal. It's an amplifier of whatever quality that mount possesses. So obviously, if it's on the Mercury, that is a fantastic sign also. And there's no difference between black or brown. So this is something, I think I forgot to talk about it before. And I do want to mention it. When I had talked about, actually it was over here, lines coming off of your, up by your thumb, off your Venus, going up towards the different mounts. If perchance any of those lines cross the lifeline, then that is also an indication at the time that it crosses that there were some mental or physical problems. So got to watch out for that too. This is also interesting. If the marriage line, again, we're up here. If this line touches that marriage line, that is also miscommunication in that marriage. So we all know that happens. So I will do a video. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that one next, to where I can teach you about how to calculate time periods off of your lines. Actually, a bigger line, it's easier, you know, like your lifeline and your health line and your headline. But I will give you the idea, because it's almost like dividing it in half. It's at, I believe, 49 years. And then, you know, divide that line in half. And that's how you get your years. You just need to know where your line starts and where it ends. So moving on from that, good signs again, we got the star, the triangle, and the trident. And the fish is also a sign of luck. Square, circles, and vertical lines, all good. All those things add to the qualities of that mount. Bad signs are grills, crosses, crossbar, island, or dot. Those diminish the qualities on that mount or mean bad health. Unless you have the Mystic Cross, which is right in here, which is a sign of luck and being very successful. And a sign, if you have a cross on your underneath your index finger, that is also a very good sign. That is the Mount of Jupiter. So we will get to that later. If you have your stigma lines, your medical stigma lines or healer lines, if they touch your heart line, which is right here, that means that you have a lot of people that tend to take advantage of your generosity. That's pretty much what that means. You're generous, and sometimes you probably get taken advantage of because of that. A star on the Mercury mount specifically means a person that is very logical. A dot is a bad decision, probably in business. Triangle is also a sign of intelligence, being clever on the Mercury mount. And it does sometimes mean that that person might not play fair. So sometimes when you're really smart, you know, how do I want to say this? And you're talking to somebody that may not catch on to things that you're saying there. Maybe that's, I know there's a word for it, but it is definitely escaping me. It's beyond sarcasm, you know, those kind of people. Can't say I haven't been that way sometimes. I think we all have. All right. Well, next video, I think we'll move on to Apollo, all about the sun. So all the qualities of the sun. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I won't keep you, and love, light, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you again. This has been Carla Astrology. Have a good night, everybody.